Deck13 Insight. Thank you very much, Maxi, for...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Welcome back to Deck13 Insight, the show where the host decides to wear proper pants because angry Germans on Twitter started complaining. Today I'm joined by our level designer Maxi. You know him from classics like crashing our Gamescom video or implementing the real hero of the game. So who are you, what are you doing in general, and what did you make that ended up in the Surge 2?
I'm Maxi, I'm a game designer, mostly focused on level design. I built the tutorial level, the detention center, and the tutorial. I also worked on the prototype for the boss in the detention center, which is Warden Garcia, and on a level which we haven't talked about yet, so I won't talk about it now. And also some other surprise for very much later in the game.
Are there some basic rules for making a good tutorial, and how did you implement them into the Surge 2?
So, in general, learning new things is one of the most fun things in games. For example, if you meet an enemy for the first time and you struggle with it, but then you slowly understand the move scheme and finally overcome it, that's one of the most fun things in the Surge and in other games as well. And as a tutorial is all about learning new things, you miss the big opportunity if your tutorial turns out boring. And one common reason for boring tutorials is that they are too front-loaded, that they try to explain everything at the same time in the beginning, and at a point where a player really needs a certain mechanic, he might already forgot about it. So we in the Surge 2 want to explain new mechanics only in situations where the player need them and can use them. For example, shortly after you acquired your Exorig, you can heal yourself via an implant, and so we explain healing at a situation where the player has the energy he needs for it and has not full health, so he actually needs it, and then he can directly use it in a situation where it's actually useful and will remember it.
We already talked about the first boss in the game, Warden Garcia. Let's shine some light on him.
He is with the AID, and they took over the Jericho City Police Department and turned it into a detention facility. He's the leader there now. And the most special thing about him is his drone. He can launch it during combat and it will fire burning grenades and laser beams. It also has some special surprise attacks where it will fire from his back without even launching, that can catch the player off guard. And he is a very committed guy. His orders are to leave nobody out of the detention center alive, and he will follow these orders no matter the cost. And so as the player you have to defeat him to get into the city. And if you do so, his drone will follow you after he got defeated.
Was it a good take? Sure. So Maxi, just between us, what is Garcia like in private?
He's the nicest guy. He makes the best pancakes you could imagine. He is his children's football team's coach. He likes a good Sauvignon Blanc.
Some players felt that the levels of Surge 1 were a bit too narrow, and the Surge 2 really defines itself through openness and giving the players freedom to explore. Yet we started in a rather narrow and linear detention center. Can you explain this?
There are two reasons for this. First, it's a benefit for a tutorial to be able to streamline things, so a more narrow and linear environment suits this very well. And as some things always change during development, the tutorial, because it needs to explain these things, has to change as well. So we wanted to be able to switch around stuff even on a later stage, and with cells and corridors that works very well. And the other and more important thing is that we wanted to tell this story of overcoming this narrow enclosed environment to gain strength and to finally reach the open, living and breathing city of Jericho.
And that's it for this week of Deck13 Insight. Thank you very much, Maxi, for...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Joining us today, But there's some sad news. We won't be back next week since we are starting our live stream. We will stream on Thursday and on Friday on Twitch. The link is in the description down below, and we will go through the Surge 1 again in anticipation of the Surge 2 coming out in the week after that. If you watch this video on YouTube, you can click right here to check out the latest episode, or right here to check out the playlist with all the other episodes, and please subscribe to our channel. We will see you next week on the live stream. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Bye bye!